3, hit it!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. I will admit, I was on my own YouTube channel the other day, and I came across a video that I first posted 7 years ago called The Dragon Story. And it's one of my favorite stories, and my friend Lynn illustrated it. If you haven't seen it, I recommend popping over to my YouTube channel and checking it out. And while you're there, feel free to subscribe. So, there's a fundamental notion that I first heard from the Scottish mystic Sid Banks. And he said, every human being is doing the best they can given the thinking they have that looks real to them. In other words, given your personal reality, given the way the world looks to you, every behavior that you do or don't do makes complete sense. It will just seem obvious. It will look like common sense to you. So one of the extreme examples I'll sometimes use is if I really think that there are aliens and they're trying to penetrate my brain to steal my secrets, then wearing a tinfoil hat or whatever else I might do to try and escape the alien mind probe is totally sane. It's the most obvious common sense thing in the world to do. And when we try and change our behavior or someone else's behavior without their thinking changing, without the world that they're in looking different, without a different personal reality, then all we've got is willpower. And while willpower is pretty powerful, it takes constant, sustained effort. And the second you drop the ball, you go back to the old behavior. But when the world looks different, we do different, effortlessly, automatically. If you've been drinking for years and suddenly for you, it's apparent that alcohol is rat poison, you're done drinking that day. If you've been telling yourself that you should eat your vegetables and you really ought to eat your vegetables and you'll be much healthier if you eat your vegetables, and one day broccoli tastes amazing to you, guess what? You're going to eat your vegetables. No effort, no willpower required. What does that have to do with money? Because money is probably one of the words you noticed in today's episode. Well, the way money looks in our world, the thinking we have that looks real to us about money, pretty much determines all of our behavior and experience around money. So I'm going to share sort of two of the most common experiences people have about money, worldviews people have around money, things they think money is, and how that sort of explains most people's behavior around money. And then I'm going to suggest a third option for you to play with. So for many people, the belief is at some level, even if we logically know it's not, that money is either the root of all evil or a necessary evil. In other words, we may think, oh, money terrible, but there's a lot of people think, oh, money terrible, but. And if you really thought that money was the root of all evil or a necessary evil, then you would probably do the minimum you had to do to get enough money to get by. And if you did somehow start making lots and lots of money, then you would probably at a certain point decide, well, heck, if I'm making all this money, I must be evil, so I'm going to not even try to be good anymore. I'm just going to just walk all over people because it's already too late for me. I've already sold my soul, so I'm just going to keep going down that road. And we read about people like that, and you may even know some people like that. So either if money really looks like a necessary evil, root of all evil, you kind of minimize, you do the least you have to do around money. Or you make lots of it, but you kind of any moral stance around it falls apart. Now, I didn't grow up in that kind of a reality around money. I grew up with the attitude around me that money was the fruit of hard work. That if you worked really hard, you got money, and that was a good thing. And if you didn't work hard, you wouldn't get money. And if because it looked to me like money was the fruit of hard work, if I wanted more money, I had to work harder. And that turned me into a workaholic because I quite liked the fruits of my labors. So I just would labor more and more and more until I kind of got to a point where I was killing myself with it. I had become an honest to goodness workaholic where it was just, I had to choose between a life that I really loved or living long enough to enjoy it. And if for you, money is the fruit of hard work, some of the things that you'll probably notice are you really appreciate the hard work of others, and you don't like to pay for things that don't look like they were earned. You probably have a real stance about, for some people it's the stock market or get-rich-quick schemes or anything that people do that doesn't seem like the fruit of hard work. It's like, that's awful. And if you do kind of either inherit money or win money, it doesn't mean anything to you. You're just like, you almost get rid of it as quick as you can because it's not real money. I didn't earn this. So you just kind of fritter it away. Now, there are obviously a whole lot of other ideas people have about what money is, and they're all made of thought. Money is a piece of paper. If you've never done it, take out a dollar bill or a £5 note or whatever your currency is and sort of look at it and see if you can work out how that piece of paper makes you feel stuff. Because it's thought. It isn't the piece of paper. It is what we think money to be. So I wanted to suggest a third possibility. And I have met a few people who this just is what money looks like to them. And, there's a great Ram Dass quote where he says, we're all just God in drag. Like every human being is just the energy of the universe in form. And in a way, money is just the energy of life in form. Money is God in drag, God in form. Now, if money really was God in drag, if money really was just the infinite energy of life in form, how would you be around money? Would it look hard to get? Would you hang on tightly to it, or would you use it freely? Because we kind of know energy flows, and it comes in, it goes out, and that's just a natural thing. And there's an abundance of energy. Life is energy. And so if money is the energy of life in form, what would that do to the way you were with money? And you can over-logic this. So what I actually am going to suggest is, instead of thinking it through as an experiment, and again, if you're freaked out, I don't want to risk this, do it for a day, do it for an hour. But if you're up for it, do it for a week. Just live with the idea that money is just the energy of life in form. It's just God in drag. It's just another form that the life energy takes. And see what that does to your experience of money. See how that changes the way you feel about and around money. Notice if your behavior around money changes. And if you like it, you can keep doing it for as long as you want. That's kind of the beauty of thought. And when your thought-created reality changes, your behavior changes all by itself. Have fun, learn heaps, happy exploring, and I'll talk with you soon.